Welcome to Mad About Money. I'm Maddy Alexander-Grout, and this is Mad About Money, the podcast where we talk all about interesting money things with interesting people. And I am joined today by the lovely Sharon Holt, who is a UW consultant and also a good friend of mine and somebody who was helping me within the Mad About Money app with everything bill related. So we're going to talk a little bit about Sharon's story today, a little bit about UW and what she does, and how she's grown a massive team and how she makes money from what she does. And it's all a very, very inspiring story. So I thought we would get her on so that we can talk a little bit about what she does. So Sharon, tell us a little bit about you and what you do.
Good morning, Maddy. Well, what do I do? I've got a big birthday this year. Starts with a 5. And for the last 30 years, I've been self-employed. And I have been, I started off actually, believe it or not, in telesales.
Okay, yeah, I did as well, actually.
Just being able to talk to people, that's a skill that is not necessarily one that can be taught. It's a natural ability. The good thing is I don't talk in my sleep. My son does.
I do.
But we've always been talkers. So I had a business for nearly 20 years doing corporate clothing and promotional gifts.
I did not know that. Interesting.
Not many people do. That's why I love meeting new people as well and getting their backstory, because the person that you see today is nothing to do with the person they were 30 years ago.
Oh God, no. I was a delinquent drunk with a really bad spending addiction 30 years ago. Actually, no, I wasn't. I was 10. So actually, no, I wasn't a drunk.
It feels like it.
But when I was 10, I was definitely not the same person that I am now at all. I liked Boyzone for a start. I mean, that was weird.
I was a whammette going back a few years there.
Yeah.
But the company used to do the corporate clothing, the printed T-shirts and embroidered workwear and things, and it expanded into the promotional goods. So that's your pens, your mugs, your key rings.
Yeah.
And over the space of 20 years, the company expanded as well it became that one-stop shop. And I hate the term one-stop shop, but pretty much that's what the company did. So from Joe Blogg's plumbing and heating engineer up to, we had contracts with the Essex Fire Brigade, Police Dog section. Some of my cushions were even on Channel 4 television.
Wow, nice.
So it just kind of developed. It was a natural progression. And I'd won awards over the years for growing business and customer service. Customer service was always high on my list.
Yeah.
Businesswoman of the Year for 5 years running. I'd never won it. I never won it. My story was never sad enough, but I was nominated, so I was happy with that.
You do need a sob story, don't you? I won Businesswoman of the Year in 2020. And I was pregnant at the time, and I genuinely didn't hear I wasn't listening when they called the results out. And I had someone, Maddy, you've won, and I was like, what? What? Yeah, really weird, but interesting. But even being nominated is good, so that's good.
I'll take that.
Yeah. So after Businesswoman of the Year, where are we now?
I sold that company about 14 years ago now.
Wow.
And I just needed to get out of the rat race. It had got to the point of, I don't think my brain could have taken any more of employing people.
It's hard work, isn't it?
It is. And that was the time when everything was about the employee, not the employer.
Yeah.
Ambulance chasers were out in full force. The ones that say, have you had an accident at work? Are you being bullied at work? Give us a call.
Oh God, yeah.
So there were several big signs. I'm a great believer in the universe giving us signs that things need to change. And I had several huge signs that it needed to change. And I was a single mum at the time and decided that, nope, we'll get out the rat race and we'll find something else to do. I didn't necessarily know what I wanted to do. I knew what I didn't want to do. There was lots I didn't want to do, and I knew I'd never be employed by someone else. Technically, I am unemployable. I don't like being told what to do.
I don't either, to be fair. No, I'm with you on that.
And so here we are now 14 years later, and I am now in a completely different industry. But I'm using the skills that I had from back in those days, still in my day-to-day life, of teaching people, of mentoring people, of supporting people, and seeing the bigger picture.
Yeah. So what made you decide to be a UW consultant?
I have been networking for over 30 years with my business. And I absolutely love networking. I'm very passionate about it. My whole business was built on networking and the connections that you make, some of which I still have to this day. So when I sold the business, I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I knew whatever I did still had to involve networking.
Yeah.
Because that's the bit that I enjoyed the most. So my sister's company at the time, I originally went out networking for her. So I was still going to these meetings, and I met a UW partner. I'd never met one before. So in the style of networking, you introduce them to people. So I actually introduced them to my parents because they were moving. And there were a few issues with my mum and dad's application.
Yeah.
So I had to step in and speak to head office about them. And I was so impressed with the way that they dealt with things. I was so impressed with their customer service, their attention to detail, that I knew then that day that I wanted to be partnered with a company that had those kind of morals, those kind of standards.
Yeah.
My whole business before had been built on customer service. It's always been top of my list. So I then looked into the business side of it and knew then that it was something again that I wanted to be a part of, because we weren't selling anything. We're not charging people. People do not have to pay to speak to a UW partner. It's all free. If they decide to switch, it's free. So I am helping people, but I'm not getting them to spend money. I am helping them save money. I am not sitting in front of them trying to sell them something. I am just showing them a different way. I am simplifying their life for them, one that they may not be aware of. And, you know, it literally is one of the easiest and simplest things to do.
Yeah. And I agree with you. I think I've been a UW customer for 5 years or so now, I think. And I've watched everybody's bills go up. I mean, of course, my bills have gone up. I think everybody's bills have gone up. But if I compare what I would have been paying with one of the big four to what I'm paying for UW and actually having all of my services under one roof, I am saving a lot more money than if I wouldn't be. And I love the cashback. I love the cashback element as well, because I use the cashback card at the same time as I'm using and saving in other areas as well. So I find I love that element. And I really like the fact that they plant trees as well. And they're just a cool company. Like, I don't hear people slating them. Whereas you do a lot with the other energy providers sometimes. You know, they can
the
be.
fact that you can actually get in touch with them most of the time is a big plus for most people. That if you ring them, they're going to pick up the phone.
Yeah. I mean, they were so lovely, because we had to speak to them when my mother-in-law passed away, because she was a customer, and we had to deal with her estate and keep the electricity on, but like cancel the other services. And they were just so nice. Like, we didn't have any problems. And I always expect that when you're speaking to a big call center, you're going to have loads of problems, but it was so smooth. And it was plain sailing. And it's not what you expect from a company. So I like their values as well. It's good. And I often think that, network marketing has a really, really bad rep, right? And people don't like it because it's like pyramid schemes, pyramid selling, whatever you want to call it. But I see UW as an investment in your future rather than a pyramid scheme or it's not a get rich quick scheme. It's
No.
it's something, it's a product that people need in their everyday lives. And that's the thing, you know, I deal with a lot of mums who are like, I need an extra job, I need something to work around my family. And UW is perfect. I think it's perfect for mums because it's not something that you have to do like in set hours. You can do it
No.
whenever the hell you like, which is
It's
brilliant.
completely flexible. I have actually, my son plays football, so dropping him off at football matches, I have sat in the car and spoken to people and explained to them how it all works and how they're going to benefit and how much money they're going to save. It is completely flexible. It is it's a very hot topic of conversation at the moment as well. I mean, back in the day, several years ago, if you started talking gas and electric to people, they would cross the street to avoid you. You would
Oh
never
God,
get
yeah,
invited to
yeah.
their house ever again. You would be that boring mum. But now this is all people are talking about. And what I find really rewarding is I can't do much about the actual price of gas and electric.
No.
You know, it's set, it is what it is, but there are options, and the fact that you can give people options, you can give them choices, you can give them this you know, show them how the cashback card works. Who doesn't like a bit of cashback? It's free money.
Yeah.
And you know, the fact that they can recommend friends and family and they can get
Yes.
money off their bill as well.
Yeah. So you don't even have
ways.
to do it as a job. You can still make money, and it comes directly off your energy bill. And that is useful right now. We're in a cost of living crisis. Everybody is trying to make savings where they can, but no one's looking at this. Why? Why are they not looking at it? It's so easy, and it's really easy to switch as well, isn't it? Like,
I think what I have found over the years is people don't necessarily understand their energy bills. It's not
yes.
something that's taught. People know what they pay, but they don't necessarily understand what this
Why?
energy bill means.
Yeah.
They don't understand what they're paying per unit. They don't understand smart meters. Are they going to help? Are they going to benefit? They don't understand fixed tariffs and variable tariffs. You know, it didn't help through lockdown when people were being told not to even bother paying their bills. You know, people were going out and buying hot tubs or swimming pools and not realizing that if the energy usage goes up, they're still going to have to pay for it. But they weren't then putting their payments up. So now they're in debt and they're going to struggle to get out of that debt with the energy provider. And they're going to be subject to that energy provider's prices as well. So it's a vicious circle. And I think there is a lot of embarrassment out there as well, that people think they should understand it, they should know. But if they did, I wouldn't have a job. My job is to help explain it.
Yeah. And this is what Bill Clinic's all about. So Sharon's going to be one of our experts within the Mad About Money app. And every single week at 11 o'clock, we're going to have a Zoom call where people can just drop in and ask us questions about their bills. And this can be anything. You know, am I with the right supplier? Am I paying the right amount? How do I reduce my energy consumption? There are so many things that you can do to be better off with your bills, but also as well, if you're looking for a side hustle, for a bit of extra income, even around your, you know, your full-time job, the thing with UW is it's really easy to earn, and it's something that people need, and it's not a hard sell. It's just helping people.
Well,
And if
there
you
is
can't
nothing
help
to sell.
people, no,
there is nothing to sell. People do not take anything that they don't already have. People have these services already. It's just a different option.
Yeah. And people don't realise that all energy comes from the same place. I think one of the things that annoys me so much, and people are like, oh, well, I really like my supplier because they're local. I'm like, yeah, all right then.
Yeah.
I mean, I actually used to work for British Gas. I one of my first jobs out of uni was working in a British Gas call centre, selling people gas and electric. And British Gas were the most expensive supplier out there at the time. They had quite a good deal where if you did like 2 services with them, they'd give you a bit of a discount. And you could pay monthly by direct debit, which saved you a bit of cash as well. And the amount of people who were like, I don't want to switch away from Scottish and Southern because they've been providing my energy for years. And it's like, they don't provide your energy, they provide your bills. Like, they send you a piece of paper. That's all they do. Like, it's all about who facilitates that energy, isn't it, really? Rather than like,
it is. There tends to be the older generation that very much have a loyalty to one.
They do, don't they?
Provider,
Yeah.
but that loyalty is not rewarded. In fact, it's usually taken advantage of.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Because they are overpaying. But you know, with the Bill Clinic as well, what we've been able to do is almost, I suppose we're energy detectives. We're just looking at the bills to make sure that they look right, so the usage looks about right. You know, over the last couple of months, we've had a young girl in a flat in London who was actually being billed for her whole floor, 4 flats on the same floor. So she was paying the energy for all of them. We have found what we call cross-contaminated meters as well, which basically means
where people live in blocks of flats and they've got like,
or someone's actually piggybacked your supply and they're pinching your energy. And we've managed to find all these things and prove them as well, so that people have got refunds. They have, I think the best one to date was a single dad, fairly local to me, who did what most people do, had a set amount of money that he put into a bank account every month, and all the bills came out of that bank account. And he very rarely checked it, and he had checked it and couldn't understand why the energy company had only been taking £1 a month. So he was panicking, thinking that he owed them a ridiculous amount of money, because that's the other thing, most people don't get paper bills anymore. They stop.
No, it's hard, isn't it? Yeah,
people don't go online to check. Anyway, we did a quick investigation and actually found out the reason they'd only been taking £1 a month is because he was £6,500 in credit.
Wow.
In credit. Thankfully, credit, not debt.
That's amazing. I bet he loved you.
No, he just reminded me, actually, he still owes me lunch for that. So
I'll chase that guy up
for that. But yeah, these are the little things people don't understand.
No.
They don't think to look. They'll ring around for car insurance and you know, the basics. But if they're not understanding what the energy is to begin with, that's why they're not ringing around to find out what else is available. But
one of the things that I used to get as an objection all the time was I can't switch energy providers because I need energy. And I'm like, they don't cut you off. It's just changing who sends you a bill. You still get the energy. There's nothing, you know, there's nothing that stops you from having the energy. It's all done for you. It's really easy. You don't have to do a single thing. It's all done for you. So it's so easy. And one of the things I really like about UW is that if there is a problem, there's one number to call. It's not the whole like shebang of like, oh God, my broadband's been cut off, I've got to call my broadband provider, or like it's all under one roof and it's so easy and you can get
one
oh my God
contact. And they're in London and it's an open door policy. So, you know, you're welcome to pop in and have a chat to them as well if you like. But yeah, it's making life simple and saving people time and saving people money. But the time element is just as important.
It is. And the ease of having one bill to look at, you know, I'm looking at my bills and I'm looking at like other people's at the moment and thinking, I'm not paying, like, I mean, yes, it's all gone up. I think I pay something like £130 a month, and I used to pay 80. But that's for my mobile phone. That's for the cashback card. That's for my my boiler care. Like, that people don't realise that there's boiler care and stuff in there as well. And it's that ease of having
income protector. There's household insurance. The idea is, the bigger picture is that they are going to bring in eventually every household service onto one bill. That's the plan. So that you've only ever got one bill, one point of contact, one direct debit. But the bill, when the bill does come in, as you know, it's completely itemized. So you can still see what you're spending on what. But the fact that you've got one direct debit, you know what day it's going out on. You can choose the day it goes out on as well. So it's great for budgeting. You know exactly
Yes.
where you
Yeah,
are.
exactly. Yeah. And then
And
you
you
can
also know that
you can
you
earn
can
the money
reduce
as
that
well.
every month as well by
Yeah.
recommending others.
Yeah. And I think that's great, because I don't know any other energy provider where you can recommend friends and save money on your bill. I mean, that's incredible.
Not that I'm
So
most of them aren't even taking new customers at the moment anyway. So
no, they're not, are they? So,
no.
I think
So
it's a
people think they're stuck. They think there is no other option, but there is.
yeah. So Sharon, how do people get in contact with you if they're interested in having it? Because what you do is a free of charge service where you look at people's bills and you compare them and you tell them honestly if you can save them money. And if you can't save them money, you won't make them switch, will you? So it's a no obligation free service where you can actually check to see if you're actually saving any money, and if you are, why don't you switch? It's a no-brainer.
It's a health check, isn't it? It's
It
just
is, yeah.
to make sure that that you're on the best deal for you, and nobody is going to switch if it doesn't save them money.
Yeah, that makes sense. So how do people get in contact with you if they want to have a look at your switching service?
Through the website, through the Bill Clinic website, which is billclinic.co.uk, or Sharon Holt, my website is up. You can contact me there. Mobile, email, carrier pigeon if you like.
Yeah, why not? And of course
there's
people can find you in the Mad About Money app as well. So that's
absolutely.
a good place to find you. And also if people want to have a chat with you about maybe earning some extra income as well, because
Most
we're all
definitely.
feeling the pinch at the moment, and it's a really easy thing for you to do in your spare time.
And I just want to add to that as well, that anyone who does want to chat about an additional income, about some extra money, it is in the strictest confidence as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because some people may be working, they may be a little bit concerned. And again, that's no obligation as well. I can show you what's available. We can chat about how much it is that you want to be earning, and then we can put a plan together to get you earning it. But this has to be from a business point of view, this has to be one of the simplest businesses at the moment to get referrals and recommendations. You help one person, they're going to recommend you to 3, 5, 10 friends, family members.
Yeah. And it's such a low investment to join as well, isn't it? Like £10 or something.
It's £10. It's £10.
Amazing.
And actually, if you change your mind in the first 90 days, you'll even get that £10 back.
Wow.
Although I've never had anybody change their mind once they see the system, once they see the potential, once they see how simple it is. There's a structure. All training is provided. They get access to all the training, all the websites, emails, marketing material. So I don't know any other business that you can start for technically what's £3 a month.
It's amazing. I genuinely think it's really good. Anyway, this isn't my business. Sharon's not paying me to say it's good. I'm just genuinely a customer who thinks that it's brilliant. And I think if you go and have a look at reviews and testimonials and Trustpilot and all of those places, genuinely so many more positive reviews than any other energy company. So I think it's worth checking out. But anyway, Sharon, it's been lovely to have you on today. Thank you for coming. Make sure that you check out Sharon, give her a follow on social media, go and have a look at her website. And if you struggle to get in contact with her, message me and I'll put you in touch. So guys, if you're listening to this podcast on the Mad About Money app, you were in the right place. If you're listening on YouTube or Spotify or anywhere else, then you are in the wrong place. You need to be downloading the Mad About Money app. If you haven't heard about it already, Mad About Money is the UK's first ever social finance platform, helping people to talk more openly about money. I'm Maddy Alexander-Grout. You can find me on LinkedIn, and we will see you guys next week.